So here's something that happened kind of funny this week, and I think it ties in. We went to McDonald's. I took the kids. We have 4 kids, and took them to McDonald's, and they really like to go there, and they like the Happy Meals because there's free toys. So we got into McDonald's, and McDonald's has that plastic showcase where you can see, okay, what is the toy that goes with the Happy Meal? Well, when we showed up, the plastic case was empty. Disappointment, and the person working there said, well, I can give you this little coloring book. That wasn't quite cutting it, because the toy right now, well, it's Beanie Boos. And that phrase was not in my vocabulary a week ago, but these are small stuffed animals in the Happy Meal, but they're so popular they ran out, and so we went to plan B, which is just get some cones. So we bought cones, went over to the playland, and in the playland, the structure is like over 20 feet high, and so the kids are up at the top of playland and running around, and one of them looks out and sees on the McDonald's chandelier, I don't know if they call them chandeliers at McDonald's, but above the light, there's this circular piece, and what do you know? One of the Beanie Boos, his name is Snort, and he's a Red Bull, ended up on top of the McDonald's chandelier. I could never see it, but from the top of the playland, you could see it very clearly. And so our kids are kind of resourceful, and they put the straws together for about 5 or 6 feet. And they're going to get Snort, except they realize they don't have the altitude to do it, so it was, Dad, go get it. And how do you say no to that? And so I took those straws, and I got up on the chair, and I reached as very high as I could, and I tried to reach over and knock Snort, kind of like a piñata game, knock Snort loose, and the kids are now up in the playland, and they're saying, a little to the right, a little to the left. Move it more, Dad, move it more. And I could not move it from that angle, but now I've got all the playland giving directions and cheering. But I kept going and just didn't have the leverage, and so I thought, okay, get another straw. The kids made another straw, and I'm not a physics major or anything, but with that first straw, working it from the end, it didn't seem to have much power, but now they made a second straw that I could put closer to the fulcrum and lower the leverage and try to work it. And by this point, I realized there's a lot of people watching this. This was not in my plan at McDonald's, but it's one of those things you don't stop the train, you just go on for the ride. So I'm trying to knock it, and they're saying a little bit more, and I'm giving it my all, and they're cheering me on, but Snort is not coming down. And after a little while longer, I don't know if it was 5 or 10 minutes, I lost track of time in the excitement, McDonald's employee walks into the playland, and by this point I'm thinking, am I in trouble? And he walks over and hands me this metal rod and says, try this. I think this will work. I'll eat the humble pie. I can do that. And so I take the metal rod, lean, and sure enough, one knock, and Snort comes down. The kids scramble. The party's on. And you say, well, what does all this have to do with prayer? Sometimes we are trying so hard to make things work, and we think we're so resourceful, and 5-foot straw, a second set of straws, and we are trying, and God says, I've got something better for you. I've got something with more power. I've got something that'll actually work. If you receive it, I'll give you my resources, or you can just keep trying to knock Snort down on your own for the next hour, but it's not going to work. And so prayer is one of those gifts, and God's power comes into our weakness, and God wants him to go to him and seek him in prayer. So James writes this in verse 14, is any one of you sick? He should call the elders of the church to pray over him and anoint him with oil in the name of the Lord. And the prayer offered in faith will make the sick person well. The Lord will raise him up. If he has sinned, he will be forgiven.